You have two collections that were released on Verse that are inspired by Asian culture and history. And you mentioned your father and how you visited him in Asia. Can you tell us a bit about the story or the inspiration behind Yamabushi's Horizons and Izanami Islands? And for those that haven't seen those collections, those are in the show notes, and they have a very clear, you could say, aesthetic that you can recognize. This was done by Richard, right? So
Yeah.
you managed to come up with that aesthetic, but there is a rich history behind them as well. So can you tell us a bit about that influence, Richard, and how you translated that to your
Yeah,
work?
absolutely. So let's start with Yamabushi Horizons. So like, okay, let's start with the history. Why an Austrian German guy is like doing kind of Japanese themed artworks. Um, when I was a young child, my father like moved over to Japan, or spent a lot of time there business wise. He worked there, and whenever I could, and I had school holidays or something, I went over to Japan and spent some time with him, and also my mother joined us as well. And we did so many amazing trips all across the country. Visited the mountainside, visited the seaside, went to some sumo events, went deep into the culinary scene. He took me with him to meetings. Um, we went that when to the cherry blossom and everything, like, and I got so fascinated by the country. And furthermore to that, like, my father was like always my best friend. He was like not like a strict guy. He always gave me his opinions, guided me through life, but in a very, very fair manner.
Hmm.
And he was like my star, but he was like a pretty good father. Unfortunately, he passed away quite early when I was like 18. And I had all these memories and everything. Like, some people, they write books, they start to write texts about beloved ones they lost and everything, to get down, to get the grief behind.
Yeah.
But I started to make art, and like these moments that I've kept with my father, or that I experienced with my father in Japan. I took them and tried to create artworks
Oh.
around them. So we visited the mountainside, like, and we had such a good time there, and it's kind of magical. And just a friend of mine just visited Japan for skiing. So many people don't know that they have like skiing areas,
Mm.
like huge mountains, or like at least
Yeah.
a mountainside where you can ski proper, and they have tons of snow. And like, when you go there in the winter time, and go there in the summertime, at least to the mountainsides, I've always had these moments. Like, I've read some books about like Japanese myth and everything. And I think, like, the ideas came all together, like everything that I had in my head, and what I've read during that time, and I still have some books here that brought me to do like these artworks or these series.
Mm.
And yeah, so the first one, like, Yamabushi's Horizons, was like all about the mountainside,
Mm.
the beautiful landscape. Like, when some things you can't describe, you have to be there and you have to
Yeah.
see it personally to get what I mean.